variables. And part one of this exploring variables is going to be that we are collecting data as a class. You are going to fill out a Google form. It's really easy. It's like, how many pets do you have? Like, how long is your foot? Like, it's not hard. Okay. So, I just lost my train of thought. So we're going to do this Google form, but it's in Google Classroom. So we're going to get into Google Classroom first. So I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so this is the Google form that you are going to complete. And it should be easy. It's not like hard questions. There are some things where you will have to measure. So let me get the sticks out. All right, now we're starting up again. So go back to your assignment, the Exploring Variables assignment. You're going to look for the Google Sheets. I linked this to our Google Forms so that all of our data went in here. Boom. Okay, so this is all of our data. Oh, shoot. This is all of our data. Okay, now please be quiet and stop tapping. Okay, have you guys ever made a duplicate of a sheet before? Do you know how to do this? Okay, everybody watch. So each one of you is going to need to do this. Okay, and you're not going to write on anybody else's sheet. You're going to duplicate the original class sheet and you're going to make your very own, okay? So I'm going to hit the little arrow and pick duplicate. Now it says copy. Okay, I'm going to pick mine and change it to my name. So I'm going to rename it as Mrs. W. Okay. I need like at least your first name and last initial, right? So I can tell who's who. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Somebody can have mine because I'm not going to have a sheet. Okay, so someone can have the one I made. Okay, please make sure that you are on the correct sheet.
Do we copy or duplicate?
Duplicate. Copy, I believe, will make a copy of the entire workbook, and that's not what I want. I want you to have your very own duplicate sheet in this workbook. I don't want you to have a copy of the entire workbook. Everybody good? Okay.
No, I'm not doing it.
So this has all of our data in it. Would you please look at your handout? Okay, your handout says that it says, what is data? In statistics, the term data refers to a set of values. Okay, that can be sorted by variables. Okay, where have we heard variable before? Yeah, okay, we heard it in Algebra 1. We probably heard so much about it that we might have wanted to puke. Okay, so we heard it in algebra. Okay, what did variable mean in algebra? Okay, it was X, but when did we use variables? Okay, when we were factoring. Did we always know what X was at the beginning of the problem?
No.
Okay, so we used X to represent unknown numbers. Okay, so in algebra, we use variables to represent unknowns. Unknown quantities. Okay, in statistics, variables are going to be something a little bit different. In statistics, it's going to be any attribute or characteristic that can be measured. Okay, so here we're going to compare and contrast data and variables a little bit. We are going to use the term data to talk about all of the information that you gathered. Whoops, that's an alternate spelling of data, guys. All of the information that we gathered. Okay, you've heard of data points. These are like the answers to the questions that we ask. So someone was 178 centimeters tall. That's a data point. All of the answers together as a collection make the data. So that's those raw numbers and answers that you guys got in that sheet. Everybody okay with that? Okay. We use the term variables to talk about the individual aspects that you measured, such as age, height, foot length, allergies, birth month, school travel method, school travel time, number of pets, yada, yada, yada. So these are like the questions that we asked. These are the aspects that we had questions about. The data is like the answer to those questions. Is that okay with everybody? Okay. Okay, in the maze experiment in activity 1.1, each piece of data that we collected was a number. Have you guys heard of numbers called quantities? Right? So we're going to call all of that data quantitative data. Quantitative.
It's a lot of words. There's a lot of letters.
You can kind of see the word quantity in there. Quantity is a number. Okay, in the Google form for this survey, did we collect quantitative data? Yeah, we did. Okay, were all of our variables quantitative? Correct. No, they were not. Which of them were quantitative? Which of them had to do with quantities, with numbers? Height. Okay, age, I heard months. Height.
Okay.
What about your feet? Your foot length? Okay, someone said pets. What about pets? Is it the type of pet or?
Number.
Okay, good, because type of pet would not be quantitative, right? Number of pets, good. Travel time. Any other ones? Okay, I think actually you guys did great. You got it. Good. Okay, so we have some other ones on here that were not quantitative. So whether or not you had allergies, what superpower you would choose, how you travel to school. If these are quantitative, what do you think those other ones are? I want you to brainstorm with the person next to you some names that we could call that kind of data. We call this data if it helps us sort it into categories. What? I think you said it. Okay, it has the word category in it. All right, I'm going to help you guys out. It's categorical.
Huh? No, I never heard that word.
Yeah, well, you heard it today first. Categorical. Okay, you can see the word category in there. Okay, to make this even more exciting, there's another name that other sources call it. Okay, so put an or on there. It's a Q. This one's a Q. It's another big word, but this one starts with a Q. Not quantitative. Qualitative. That's it. So smart.
So smart.
You're getting an A. So, this type of data has to do with sorting into categories or sorting by qualities. Okay, not by quantity. Everybody all right with that? The names kind of make sense. Okay. Flip. Okay, we kind of already wrote this, but it's categorical or qualitative. At least we'll get practice spelling it. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit, but I want you to see if you can remember or figure out which of the questions measured categorical variables. So go ahead and list them really quick. Okay, why are these not quantitative? Because they don't involve number. Okay. These are not numerical data points. These variables don't have numerical data points. Okay. So just when you're answering these questions, make sure you're reading carefully because quantitative and qualitative at first glance look very similar. So give yourself like 5 to 10 seconds to think before you answer this. Can you use a box plot to display data for a quantitative variable? Quantities. What do you think? Yeah, you could make a box plot for height, right? Oops, that was an ugly box plot. It could be height, right? We can do that. Yes. Okay, what about for a categorical value? Yes. No. Could I do that for allergies? Yes or no? No. Okay, so it doesn't really make sense. Because they don't have. It wouldn't be right because you're displaying this on like a numerical axis, right? That has numbers. Okay, and the question, do you have allergies, doesn't have a numerical answer that we can plot on a horizontal axis. Sound right? Okay. No, a box plot would not be meaningful. Okay, so it would not be meaningful because you need numerical data to create a 5-number summary. Okay, now we're going to talk more about some data displays. We're officially on part 2. Congratulations, you survived part 1. Okay, really quick, run through these and label them either with a Q for quantitative or a C for categorical. Go. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we're going to talk about distribution. Where have you heard distribution before? Math, which class? Algebra 1 again. Okay, so in algebra, what did distribution mean? So if we have like a number like 2 and a set of parentheses, and then we have like an x plus 5, we have to multiply the 2 to the numbers inside of our parentheses. Okay, so in algebra, we distribute by multiplying a factor outside of parentheses whoops, that's ES parentheses with a sum or difference in parentheses. Okay, so we're multiplying with each term in that sum or difference. Okay, in statistics, it's going to be a little bit different again. The distribution of a variable is a description of the values categorical or quantitative, and the frequency of the values. Okay, so for example, if I have a little dot plot, okay, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, the frequency of getting a 2 would be 3. What is the frequency of getting a 5? 1. Everybody okay with that? Okay, perfect. The frequency is just how often something occurred in your data, like how many times it happened. Okay, what kinds of data displays do you know? List as many as you can. Go. Which of these data displays do you think would be best for displaying quantitative data? That is data that's numbers. Box plots. Okay. What else? Dot plots. Yep.
The whisker thing.
Yep. Box and whiskers. That's the same as box plot. Okay, so far we're saying these two. Okay, now think about a pie chart. That's for two variable data. Histogram works also. Okay. These are amazing for quantitative variables. That's what we did most of last year in algebra, right? We did all three of those. And our data was numbers, wasn't it? Because we had to have numbers to find like the mean, median, and mode. Can you find the mean, median, and mode of yes and no? No, that doesn't make sense, right? Okay, but could you make a pie chart of superpowers? Yeah, could you make a bar graph for superpowers? Yeah. So that's this other one. The bar graph and the pie chart, those are for categorical variables. Okay, everybody got it? Okay. Okay, now we are going back and forth now to Google Sheets, so it's very important that you listen. Okay, does everybody have their very own sheet in our workbook with their name on it? Okay, if you don't have it yet, you got to tell me now because I'm going to be irritated now, but I'll be mad later. You'd rather have irritated than like foaming at the mouth and steam coming out of my ears. Okay. We are going to use the data variable, the data for the variable, how do you travel to school? And we are going to make displays of our data in Google Sheets. So you've already done this. You duplicated the class data sheet and renamed your own duplicate with your own name. Don't edit anyone else's sheet. Before you start editing, please make sure that you are on your very own sheet, your very own tab in the workbook. Okay. We are going to make a pie chart for our data. Each of us is going to make our own chart in our own sheet after watching this pie chart tutorial. So in your assignment, there is a pie chart tutorial. Okay, watch it. Oh, okay, watch it for homework.